Diana Stormrider caliber 5.5 review.
Bay State Red Wolf Heritage, Huben K1 at the shooting range.
Steyr Pro X.
Servus, thanks for dropping in. Yeah. Yeah.
Servus, thanks for dropping in and welcome to my channel. Today I brought something for the canny savers amongst you looking for a smaller price but that still don't want to miss out on quality and accuracy. People who want to shoot PCP, not just brake barrels or spring pistons for example, and just want to make their first steps in the PCP world. All these people should take a closer look at the Diana Stormrider 5.5mm. Around 3 years ago I reviewed the Stormrider 4.5mm, but since there is a difference between 4.5mm and 5.5mm, especially when shooting with 7.5 Joule, I want to review the 5.5mm version in a separate video. Everybody who is unsure if 4.5mm or 5.5mm is the better choice for them can find a video on my German channel. There's no English version as of now. You'll find the general pros and cons in that video, which I won't talk about today since that alone would take 10 to 15 minutes maybe, and today I want to focus on the review. You can see the Diana Stormrider right here. I'll tell you something about the technical specs now. We'll take a trigger weight test, a Chrono test, and as usual, the most exciting part, the shooting test. Okay, let's go. 110 centimeter length and only 2200 gram light. A real lightweight for everybody. I can even recommend it for young shooters or kids that want to shoot in a club under the supervision of their parents and take their first shooting steps. Yeah, it's super lightweight, easy to cock, and great handling even for smaller shooters. In the front, a silencer that does a really good job. I'll show you later. We have a rifled barrel. You can see caliber 5.5 .22, sorry, and the F can go without it, lasered on the system here. Only with the F you are free to buy it from age 18 plus at my partner Action Shop 24. You can see the synthetic stock here, but you can get the 4.5 and 5.5 version not only with the synthetic stock, but also with a beechwood stock. Here's the very good and adjustable Diana DIT, Diana Improved Trigger. A very comfortable trigger, and we will take the trigger weight test in a minute. First, the other specs. The front stock and the grip have these roughed up areas that give you great grip, even with sweaty hands in the summer. On the back we have a rubberized butt plate. The gun can be used by right and left-handed shooters, while the raised stock is, let's say, optimized for right-handers. Still, I tested it and it also works well for left-handers. In the box you'll find the single shot adapter, which I will be using for the shooting test, and the 7-shot drum magazine. I suggest we now head for the first test, which is the trigger weight test, to measure the standard setup of the gun. And there's my trigger weight tester. I'm switching to kilogram and gram. The trigger safety is activated right now. You can see it is pushed through and there's no red ring to be seen. After pushing it in, you can see the red ring here, meaning it is ready to shoot. I'm repeating once. The lever is rubberized and has a nice grip. And now let's see what the trigger weight is. And as you can see, the trigger weight is set to 680 gram. The Diana Stormrider is a PCP gun. You can see the cartridge under the barrel here. I took over 150 shots when testing it, and there was enough air left to keep on shooting. So the 100 cubic centimeters of air go a long way. The gun is really effective. And via quick fill, you can refill the gun easily. Down here is the manometer, where you can see the live pressure of the cartridge. The gun is unregulated, meaning there is no built-in regulator, but you have the option to add one later. We talked about the specs of the gun now in detail, we took the trigger test, and now we'll take the Chrono test to find out how consistent the gun is. Afterwards we go for the most exciting part, the shooting test. Have fun, guys! Okay, this is the Chrono test, and the way I'm sitting looks a bit awkward, but that's not what this is about. I just needed to set up the camera with a good angle so it tracks me and the gun. I'm shooting AirGhandi 5.52mm Diabolos with 1.03 gram. I will also use these for the shooting test because they worked real well. Okay, let's take a few shots. Of course, I filled the gun up to the full 200 bar. And now we put something through it. I mentioned it before, you have the option to add a regulator for even higher consistency. But as you can see, if you use a similar pressure, it is not necessary, because even without this, it is a really good consistency. I don't know how many shots I took. Can see it here on the FX radar Chrono. The consistency is, let's say, extraordinary. Impressive. Now for the last shot. Okay, that's unbelievable. Standard deviation from median 0.5 meters per second. Between 104 and 105 meters, 5.7 joule. You know that adding a regulator later is easily doable. There's a high quality ultra-ROS regulator and you can even adjust some more. That's it from here. Now for the shooting test. Have fun, guys. For the shooting test I am adapting my rest a bit, just because my target is a little higher than the one I used for the Chrono test. Now it feels solid, and as I said, I'm using 1.03 gram Diabolos from AirGhandi. I'll show you an extensive ammo test soon, where I will be shooting almost all Diabolos I have here, and then we'll see which ones will be the most precise. Like I said, for a start I took more than 150 shots with the gun, and the AirGhandi performed really well. So yeah, now I'll try to reproduce these results. Let's go! You know it already, I'm not shooting in the center because I don't want to shoot off the white center area, which is my aiming spot. Otherwise, aiming would get a lot harder. The scope is a Hawk Vantage 2-7 x 32 AO. And I'm using a Hawk mount, medium height for 25.4mm tube on 11mm prism rail. Nice, right? As you can see, even if it doesn't reach the full 7.5 joule, it doesn't matter at all. You can still shoot accurately. Crazy, just crazy. Oh, this one is bad. The top is deformed. Everybody who's following me for a while knows why I am shooting with single shot adapter. I take a close look at every pellet before the shot. But of course you can use the 7-shot drum magazine out of the box. I think it's a great move from Diana to put both magazines in the box, because in case you want to shoot a competition with it, you have to start with something. You can go to a club and take your first steps in 10 meter, hunter field target, and so on. I'd say, speaking for myself, if I want to shoot this kind of result while standing, I will have to work long and hard on my shooting technique and skill. Before I will need a more precise gun, because I'm such a good shot that the weapon isn't good enough anymore. I'm sure we took more than 10 shots already, but I still want to show you how good this gun is and shoot some more, ignoring the danger that I could blow a shot at some point. And you realize, how many shots did we take? I did not refill it since the Chrono test, so there were 10 shots, now 12 to 15 maybe. And it's still, even without regulator, it's still shooting a hole in hole. And I think I showed it before, if you want to keep it unregulated, in between you still can fill in some more air. It's super easy, just pack the carbon bottle into your backpack. And the gun is back to maximum pressure. Let's take one more. Today there's none of my standard missed shots. Let's take a closer look at the result. Now for the final result. Did I promise you too much? I don't think so. Look at this result. Okay, 5.7 joule leaves some room. If you want, you can add a regulator, but you see it doesn't matter over 36 feet. And I'm saying the power is enough for 72 feet to get a good result. For a gun in this price range, this is not a good, but a very, very good result. Just leave a comment on what you think about a shooting result. From my point of view, the Stormrider has no need to hide from other beginners PCP guns. Others even cost twice the price and are not as precise as the Stormrider. 5.5mm is of course fun, not just because the pellets are a bit easier to handle. I already mentioned the comparison video. If you want to go for 90 feet or more, I would use the 4.5mm because the pellets will drop just due to their higher weight. But for everybody at home in their attic or for some plinking in the garden, you can have a ton of fun with the 5.5mm. I already said that the Stormrider is an air gun for the whole family. It is super light with great handling, so in a supervised surrounding, even your young boys and girls can use it. And yeah, if you are interested, you can shoot over 10 meters in a club. It doesn't need to be a 2000 euro gun right from the start. Just use 1/10 of it, and until you are good enough to outreach the precision of this gun while standing, you will take some time to train. I hope you liked my review. You can buy the gun at my partner www.action-shop24.de. Thanks again for providing me with the gun. Pay them a visit. You'll find the Stormrider there, also with the wooden stock. Thanks a lot to you for watching. I hope you'll tune back in again next week, for there will be another video. Thanks a lot. See you then. Take care. Ciao, servus, says AirGhandi.